Hello everyone, this is Delta and welcome to a video special. This video is going to be on a world tour of my current world as is. And this will be as of 3rd of December, 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. This came as a suggestion from 1515 Steve 1515. His channel will go in the description, check him out. He gave the suggestion of actually creating this tour. It would help explain some things on my actual world itself for newcomers and also for people who've been watching it throughout the series. So thanks to him, thanks for the suggestion, and here we are with the actual world tour. So for me it's changed a fair bit, the tour from the very start, and it's been a monumental experience. You can go check on my world series out there, maybe a bit long to check them all out at one stage, but yeah, check them out. We'll go through them all. But anyway, this is going to be a highlight on most of the new and major structures within my world. So I thought we'd get started where it all began. Now, this pillar represents one of two pillars, the other one's gone now, that was to locate my world. I think this is the first one or the second one, I can't remember. This used to be one down here, where I had gravel, and that used to be like roughly down here somewhere. And these were to literally locate my hideout when I was exploring, because I had none of this architectural structures around to actually find it when I was exploring and whatnot. So that was actually quite historical for me to have a pillar like that, and I've kept that one. It's a bit of an eyesore, but I've kept that one, destroyed the other one. The other one was in the way of some of my stuff, and I think it was down here. It used to be a water, kind of a little lake kind of thing going here as well, which I removed. So I thought I'd show you, and thought I'd also start with that, and we'll go on to our first base. This very hole in the wall type base was my very first base. Had the fuel essentials as the bed, can't sleep at night. Had a couple of chests, some of them new, some old. And it pretty much ended right here, just at the end of that chest. I then added some other stuff into it as well. This actually houses my mining and my first test mob spawn system, which we can demonstrate using our TNT glitch thing, which still works. So as you can see, it's all lit up now, so it doesn't affect my other stuff. But here's the basic, very basic 4-pad system for my first ever mob spawn, and that was purely just to gather some very basic and rudimental resources. So as we go down here, we have my basic strip mine that'll eventually come up soon. We haven't got to it yet. You may have seen it just before with the TNT glitch. I haven't really used it that much. I've only been doing basic stuff. It goes a fair way out. I think it goes 60 blocks in each direction. Just want to not disorientate myself there. So 60 blocks in each direction. And yeah, I've got a fair bit of resources. I plan to start another proper one. And this is kind of set up really rough and really kind of, how to explain it, really not set up correctly. Not a lot of math wasn't done and a lot of stuff. So this is my basic setup, and I have this massive open room for my slimes. Every now and then when I've got my spawning on, I'll come down here, and this, I think this room has three chunks that slimes will spawn out of the 5 or 6 that I've opened. I don't know, I can't remember. But there's a fair bit of chunks for slime spawns in this area, which I use that program to find out. But anyway, so that's a room for my slimes, and every now and then I go kill them, and yeah, not much is down here besides lava, where I get my lava from. That's about it. So we'll work our way up. So like I said, I rarely go down there and kill slimes. There's no real point. I've got a fair bit of slime balls from a couple episodes back, or a while back actually, where I killed a fair bit, and I racked up a fair amount of them. If you haven't watched my videos, I love pistons, and a lot of the pistons are sticky pistons, so I do probably need more eventually. But yeah, so I love pistons, I love wiring. I just got to get into it more with my world. So a lot of this base is kept the same. I didn't want to change it too much, and it's really my first base that was really the hole in the wall. This base was my first, like I said, and then I moved to the other one up top, which I then had a transition of going up and no longer using this, which then I turned it into the strip mine. So another part to this location down here is my reed farm, and this is used and automated, all done wiring. I found some tutorials on how to do some wiring, not wiring, I made the wiring myself. Obviously a lot of tutorials overlap. This is very basic tutorials. I found some tutorials and some help from people that showed me a more efficient way of capturing reed by using a lower system and whatnot, and it's all automated, so I can either use individual ones or I could set up a whole 4 at once and whatnot. Like that, we can set all 4 at once using these pads when I first come in. So that was used for my reeds, and why I need reeds was for my books, and books that go on the bookcase that go in my library, which is still yet to be completed. So this is a very basic setup, and I didn't really use it too much, other than getting the reeds, and I've got a fair bit of reeds there, not including the books I've already done. So my Let's Play series, it's called the Sky City for a reason, that I wanted to build all up in the sky. So a lot of these ground or base structures are really, to a degree, temporal, because I want to eventually put them up in the sky. But then again, they are my history, they are my roots of this world, and I want to keep some aspects of them. So one thing that will be going for sure is this animal breeding pen thing. I don't like it. It's kind of really ugly, and I eventually have a system within my actual Sky City that actually has animal breeding. And this is purely just to get my wool for my library. So that's all I did, breed them. I split them up in 4 different pens so I could actually get a better rate. And here we have my other farms and my reeds and whatnot. And a lot of my wood farm is actually gathered from here. I just make it, these woods, I just grab the saplings and plant them back down. I don't really have a legitimate reed farm, wood farm, or tree farm that is, sorry. So here we are, getting to more to the interesting and juicy bits of the part of my build. This is where my actual Sky City starts to begin. I created this what would you call it, a piston elevator using one of, I think it was Ethos tutorials. Wrapped it in water, took for ages to do. In the end, great outcome. There's some still bits and pieces that are a bit buggy, such as these water streams that seem to have vanished. I've only just noticed them the other day actually, and I plan to fix them eventually, but I'm afraid I will break it, so I kind of left it to the last second. So as we'll go up our elevator. Now here we enter my first home base, or my first official home base, not the one that I had in the ground. And it's very plain and basic for now. I didn't actually add too much. I plan to do some custom paintings to add to the world itself, so I'm going to add some paintings, possibly muck around with some mock furniture, but I don't really like to add a lot of mock furniture in my world because I want it to be functional rather than just aesthetically pleasing all the time, and furniture that just does not sit well with me, to be honest. I don't know, something with it. But yeah, so I combine a fair bit of elements. I've got my beds and double beds nice and laid out. Lighting is all mostly glowstone. I plan to eventually have everything glowstone, no torches in my actual builds at all. Has a nice view out to the Surfer Bros sign, which was part of my 50 subscriber special. And here we go down to my my bottom, and my first chest or container area has a very basic and very kind of squishy area, very compact, and it has my trademark, or my my setup that I like to do in all my worlds. We have my chest around the outside, have my row of furnaces in the middle, has my navigator obviously, and it was very basic, and it actually helped and allowed me to do what I wanted for the initial time. Although I would eventually need to upgrade, and that's exactly what I did. So moving on to another new structure, it's my tower. I wanted to create a lighthouse effect. It's not really a functional lighthouse. Obviously, you can't create a lighthouse in Minecraft, but I wanted to create some sort of tower that signifies the area itself, and I wanted to tip it off with lava, and I felt using glass panels and glowstone, I could actually make that quite a good effect. And that goes down to the level itself. Has a nice look to it, and actually allows me to spot my world quite decently. Actually, I found, even though it sticks out like a sore thumb with the sandstone and the lava, but actually it offers quite some great light, and I can see over if I'm in another paddock or another land over there, and I can't initially see my buildings. I can see them at the tip of the tower, and it helps me orientate myself quite well, and does its job both functionally and aesthetically. So here we are going towards my library. It's still in the works, as most of my items are. I've just recently started finishing up some touches and making it all nice and neat and whatnot. So like I said, still very much under construction. I'm still working on this first level, and this is the only level that's really even on par with what it will eventually be. I have my secret layer or secret access thing down here, so we can see that again. I'll click it right. There we go. So it has two stages where pistons come out, with the floor and the bookcase, and I'll have a little container area down here where I can hide chests or items or whatever I want. Still hasn't got a use for it yet, but it works quite well. So continuing on, I'll just quickly show you the other levels. We have, I think, 7 or 8 levels, and each level is signed with 3 or 4 or 5, what have you, on the sign. And each level has its own color. The one above us was yellow. There's obviously some stuff to be fixed there. This one's orange, and it goes down in a color pattern, so it goes down fading through colors. So this one will be red from the orange, yellow, and whatnot. It's the last bottom level. It's because it's red, and it has it lifted on the edge. So this is level 1, and we can go all the way up to the top. Level 2, level 3, level 4. Like I said, each color, so you got green, now you have light blue and the dark blue, then we have purple, level 6, and then level 7. Level 7 is the last level, and this is my open glass level. I eventually want to put a garden little open area where we can have some tables as well. Again, very light on the furniture area. I'm not going to go too heavy on it. I felt a little environment dome garden that would work quite well, and then get some nice views of my current structures. So going back down again, like I said, it's very, very unpolished, and it has some time and effort to be put into it to create a nice looking setup. So level 3 is our main level. So this was all built first, and I still have to finish off, like I said. And then we move on to a more complete new chest area. I still got to have some more chests put in. But again, we have the basic furnace middle block set up. I will eventually have chests along the sides, along the walls, and the walls will be for different specific items. So ones on here will be for mob items, because this is my connection to my 2.0 mob spawner system. So this is my new mob spawner, which I'll show you in a bit. So have more chests around the sides, some more finishing and polishing to be done, but it's fairly decent done. I have signs set up, nothing on them for now, which will then depict or show what's in the actual chests themselves, as you'll see over here. So you got tools in this chest, and we have coal in this chest, which we don't have any yet because I took it all out. It also has a security system, even though I'm still playing by myself on single player. But the security system works quite well. I can't open any chests at all with the security system down. And it's just a little novelty item that I like to use. So we can remove that now. So like I said, this is our mob spawner. We'll go in the back. And this is my kind of hidden chest or sleeping bed area, which I used initially to create this area. I had my chest and my bed set up so I could create the rest of that. And I wanted to keep it as more of like a service hatch or station, so I could actually store abundance of items I don't really need or don't want to show off in my actual my chest area. So we have the mob killer system over here, same as the other one as we saw before, and we also have one of these as well. Every single mob spawner has one of those. And it just gives you a little like view. It's very hard to see. Maybe I'm not sure if my video settings are correct yet bright. It gives you a little view of the actual mob spawn itself, small system, so I can actually see the mob rates coming up and whatnot. And it's very good and very handy. So what else we have here is we also have very much the we have parts, or hidden parts really, for my wiring, and that's for my security system and for my door that I'll show you eventually. And these are kind of hatches or service points, so I can actually change and update wiring if need be. This came very handy when the new update came out 1.0, as the glowstone no longer allowed for wiring to go over, so I had to update some of this design on the ground and fix it up and whatnot, and it helped quite well to have this service hatch open. So it's always good to have something like that, and I do for most of my contraptions, that is. I'd love to create more redstone contraptions, which I'll be adding in very, very soon, I think, to a lot of my elements to make them more automated and make them more fun and more interactive. It's always a key feature. So this is my chest area. We're now moving on to our newer area. It's still very, very much in construction. This will be my grand hall eventually. If you can picture it now, you're amazing. This will be a hollowed out and massive hole. No outside wall should be seen. I kind of want to enclose it really, and I want to create like an inner grand hall with like a massive floor, massive staircases on the side, sloping down and whatnot. So that's still very much in production and very much planning stages still for that. I have my brand new door, which will have been seen in my new world tour, let's play, sorry. And it's my spiral door that goes off timing, which is the wiring we saw before. And that's quite a novelty feature. It doesn't really offer any functional aspects at all. Again, I quite like it. So this is moving on to our even uncompleted areas, which is our new part over here. I haven't actually thought of a use for this, but this will be a hub for a couple other islands, like a couple of other parts of the sky itself, so such as going over there and so island or chunk of mass behind there. And that's really kind of a little hub. Won't have too much in there that's really different. I maybe put some farms in there depending on how much room I use in this whole area and whatnot. But yeah, so it's getting close to the end of my current world build. We have a couple more features which are brand new, which is the current one I'm working on right now. Just before this video I was working on it, and it's my underworld area. It's a bit hard to see, but that glass there represents the roof of the actual current world, which we'll hop down now. And we go down into a water drop, and as we can see we have an underwater, which will eventually be underwater, and I want it to be quite big. Quite open. I'll probably drop the floor down to 2 blocks, maybe even 3 blocks. I want a high ceiling on this. I initially thought 3, but now I'm thinking even more. So now it's going to be 5 or more blocks high, and it's going to be nice, spacious, and open. And this will be my hub for my track systems. I want to create like a mini train station. I want it to be quite open. I want it to be big, so I can add wiring if I want to. And most cases might be manual for now. And I might add a proper train station with wiring, redstone wiring hooked up and whatnot. But that's pretty much it. And this will be my first objective or goal with this train station will be to get to a cave spider spawner, so I can set up some XP farms and whatnot, so I can actually enchant my tools, which will then help me create a better world tour, I guess, in the end, and help me farm better and whatnot. So that's pretty much the world as of now. I will be having a fair bit of upgrading going on, and I plan to do some more videos as they go of the new items, possibly another very complete world tour, maybe going close to the end. But for now, that's really it. So that's all wrapped up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love to show off my world and I love to hear you guys' feedback, so please, if you could, please send me a comment or PM and whatnot on what you thought. If you have any ideas of some stuff I could add to my world, if it's lacking anything or if it needs any touches or aesthetic features, please comment and help me complete my world tour. I'm quite liking Minecraft, and I won't get bored for quite a while, so just send me load all these ideas and I'll get onto them quite soon. That's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you the next Let's Play series, or episode for the series. That is, sorry. And yeah, so see ya. Delta out. Bye.